the internet. Everyone thought that was really funny last week, so I hope everybody finds it very funny this week. Welcome to episode 6 of Enter the Popverse. Can you believe we made it this long, my friends? I am your host and video producer, Ashley Victoria Robinson, and welcome to our weekly chat show here in the Popverse, which is, of course, as everybody knows, a virtual realm created by Read Pop, where we are celebrating the best in TV, movies, and comics. If you want to get all kinds of amazing content like what we're going to talk about here today and so much more, don't forget to head over to thepopverse.com, get yourself a membership, see everything that is going on there. Okay, a little bit of business right up top. I want to remind you that the next couple shows where you can find everyone from Team Popverse are WonderCon in Anaheim, California. Myself and Tiffany Babb are going to be there running around doing the dang thing. And then the next Read Pop show is, of course, C2E2 in Chicago at the end of March 31st to April 2nd. I also want to tease, be sure you stick around for the whole episode today because we have a fun C2E2 exclusive announcement coming to you directly from me. Jake Hefner says, top of the morning, friends. Oh, that'd be good if I took that little lower third away. What if we do that? Boop. We can see everyone's comments a lot easier. Hello, Jake. Top of the morning to you. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I apologize to any Irish people who are watching. My Scottish is much better, I promise. Hello, Tiffany, who will also be joining me at WonderCon. Happy Women's History Month, everybody. Be nice to some women today, why don't you? Mike Armstrong says, hiya. Hiya to you, too. Don't forget, of course, throughout the episode, you can leave fun little comments in the chitty chats, and I can pop them up on screen. Now, friends, we have a very special guest. You've seen us teasing him all week. If, like myself, you have been glued to your Paramount Plus, watching Wolfpack, wondering what's happening, wondering who is going to die, and being so shocked by the finale episode, do I have a treat for you? Because we are joined today by Baron himself, the coolest werewolf around. Chase Liefeld is here today. Hello, Chase.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
How's it going now that everything has settled? Reactions are coming in.
Oh, it's going great. It's really fun to see people just react to the episodes and especially the finale because with all the cliffhangers and the twists and turns and the reveals. So yeah, it's been a blast to be honest.
Okay, I do want to ask you stuff about the finale, but we're going to try to be as respectful and spoiler-free as possible. So without spoiling it too much, you play Baron, of course, on the Wolfpack, and he is kind of a bad guy.
Yeah, it's tough because like as you keep continuing like the story, you're like, wait, is he a bad? Like I don't know, like he did
Yeah.
commit murder, but like it's it kind of puts you in a little bit of a moral kind of just I don't even know puzzle, I guess. But yeah, it's really tough to talk about the character without giving anything kind of sensitive away to the plot.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely especially with the character Everett, the Baron and Everett definitely have something linked going on for sure. And yeah, I think hopefully we get season 2 and we get to keep telling the story a lot more. But yeah, it's tough to kind of dance around the spoilers, to be honest. I don't even know what I can and can't say, but
How do you like describe him to people who are coming to the show for the first time?
I remember when we were shooting, I was just kind of like playing, especially the first couple episodes that I appear in. It's kind of like playing a bit of a feral beast in a way, this kind of
Mhm.
like just kid who's almost getting like sucked in. He almost has like these two sides to him. Like once this beast kind of unleashes and lets go, he just kind of like blacks out and shit just kind of happens, whether that's like killing people or protecting the pack or whatever that looks like. But yeah, it's just such an incredible privilege to play such a character that takes so many different directions. Jeff, the writer and creator of the show, is such a genius.
I
Definitely.
like that you use the phrase beast. That's really clever because it obviously is themed to the show, but he does have some internal stuff that he's trying to overcome and understand throughout the first season as well.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So in Chang Can Dunk, you also play kind of a villain, kind of an antagonist character who, again, is not completely bad, but is kind of set up as this antagonist. Are you a villain on set? Are you a prankster? Like, what energy do you bring to set every
Oh,
day?
man. I don't know. Yeah, maybe prankster is probably more accurate. I just try to, like, have fun, or be funny, I guess. So it's like that internal class clown gene that got, like, pounded in me from years of going to school. But, love, I don't know, just joking around, being sarcastic. It's fun because there's always, like, like, when you're with your friends, you got all these, like, inside jokes. There's just many things that kind of just arise when you're on a set with people, especially when it's, like, 4 AM. But people don't, I mean, maybe they do know this, I don't know. But Wolfpack, we shot a lot of this show, like, deep, like, super late at night because a lot of
Uh-huh.
it's, like, at night, so they were all, like, night shoots, so our call time would be, like, 6 PM, going, which isn't even that bad, and we'd go,
Woof.
like, well into the morning, so it'd be, like, a weird, like, situation, so you'd kinda, like, have to just sleep in the day and then kinda, like, manage and then go to work, and then but it's fun though, because 'cause you're with everybody, like, especially I was staying at the same hotel as a couple other castmates, but, yeah, those late night shoots were super fun. But, yeah, what I was saying is the point is when you're up that late, it gets easy to kinda just get funny and stuff, but
Well, in
yeah.
the episode where we really get to meet your character for the first time, it's like a party scene, there's a pool, there's like a lot of energy. There are a lot of scenes where people are in various states of undress, which I imagine only kind of heightens maybe the wild vibe of actually living like a vampire while you're playing a werewolf.
Yeah, that's actually funny you mentioned that. I remember one of my first nights out there, Armani was driving me back from set because he had a rental car, and we were just, like, hanging out, and we're just like I was like, and instead of taking my van, I just, like, hopped in his car, and he was like, "Yo, it's weird because like, how we shoot this show, like, at the night, he's like, "It feels like we're, like, actual werewolves," and this was, like, one of the first nights I was like, "That's interesting," and then, like, a couple months in, I was like, "Holy crap, it totally feels that way," 'cause you're, like, waking up and then, like, only awake at the night, and then you fall asleep in the day. It's kind of a weird thing. But super fun though, super fun.
So when you're doing the werewolf stuff, like whether it's the growling or the transformation sequence or running, jumping, climbing trees, is that strenuous? Is that fun? Like, how do you channel, I guess, your inner wolf?
The running, I know is like, at least for me, it was like 100% legit. There's even a shot where like I'm running through the woods in the last episode, no
Mhm.
spoiler, but they were I think going like I don't remember the exact number, but like maybe 22, 23 miles per hour or something on this like buggy thing. And I was just like, they had the rig and I was just like straight up running for my life at it basically. But yeah, the running is totally legit. I was like super, 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 super gassed after that day where we did basically just like a ton of running in the forest. And then they had to pick up some other shots for different episodes. So it was literally just me and then like the main, like the Tyler Armani, basically the main wolf pack, and we were all just fucking running through the forest all day, which is pretty fun. But yeah, it's strenuous, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. You get breaks, you get stuff, but I would say the running is probably. I know Bella Shepherd, who plays Blake, whose like ability is to run. She
Yes.
gets a kick out of that too because it's like, yay, I get to run. But yeah, no, it's always a good time for sure, and the vibe is so good on set too. I mean, everyone out there was just such great people on both projects, but it just makes it super easy, honestly.
Was everybody welcoming to you when you joined the cast? Because you kind of come in narratively halfway through, but as you've alluded to, you're not always shooting in order. So were you there from the beginning, or was it kind of like a group of friends that you had to get introduced to?
Yeah, it's weird because I actually had known Tyler, Armani, Bella, and even heard about Rio a little bit, who plays Austin in the show, all before even getting the show. So it was weird because I kind of like knew who these people were, especially Armani. Armani's actually a really close friend of mine.
Mhm.
But the rest of them, I kind of just get introduced to because, like you said, I come in at episode 5,
Yeah.
so I come in like halfway through, and it was amazing though. They were totally welcoming, literally the coolest people ever, like the Wolfpack cast and the Chain cast too. But the
Yeah.
Wolfpack cast, everyone's exactly like my age too. We're all like 20 years old. I think Zach Nelson is like maybe a year or two older, but everyone else.
Ancient at 21.
Yeah, we're all, it's cool. It's like I left high school and then I kind of like had, you lose that kind of like a friend group that's your age, and then I kind of get plugged in with that. So it all worked out. It was amazing. And they were very welcoming. Everyone was. Sarah, Rodrigo, the whole cast is great.
So I have to ask, of course, what was working with Sarah Michelle Gellar like? Again, not spoilery for anyone who hasn't watched the last episode, but were you a Buffy fan before? Like, how excited were you to be working with her?
In all honesty, I wasn't a Buffy fan. I think it was just like slightly before my time, for lack of better terms. But I do realize, especially like now, And I did realize it like on the first day on set of how, how much of like an icon she is and how
Yeah.
much like, and you can just tell too, especially when, my career is still just starting as well as many other people on Wolfpack, and somebody with that much knowledge and that much expertise and just she's been doing it for so long, and I think you just learn a lot through years of doing it, and she has a lot of that knowledge to relate to us too, which is just a privilege. We get to basically just soak up some of her greatness basically. So yeah, it was amazing working with her though. She's a incredible human. We just had this after party the other night, and yeah, I just every time I get to see the cast and we all get to hang out, it's just such a wonderful time. So I reminisce a little bit.
Was your after party as wild as the parties that we see on screen in the show?
Oh man, yeah, shit, maybe even more wild. This last one was kind of crazy. But yeah, the party we see on the show is pretty nuts too. Everyone's
Yeah.
doing shrooms, tripping out. That was so fun to shoot that whole episode. And like you said, the lack of clothing too made a very interesting dynamic for about 2 weeks shooting that. It's very, very, very interesting time.
So in that final episode as well, Baron is, I guess I'll say, going through it. Was that challenging for you to shoot? Because even though there's a lot going on and you have a lot of internal life, on the outside, you're maybe not as active for that whole episode. So is something like that more challenging than running, jumping, climbing trees, chasing the rig through the forest, stuff like that?
Right. You mean like what he's going through mentally? Is that what you're trying to ask
Yeah,
me?
and you spend a lot of time laying down and sweating. So like
Right.
is that stranger, is that more strenuous from an acting perspective than actually
Definitely
going out
not
there and
as
fighting?
Yeah, definitely not as strenuous. When you're laying down in a scene, it's basically just like laying down, so like that's not strenuous at all because I do lay down a decent amount in episode 8, bed for like 20 minutes. Uh so yeah, it's definitely not as strenuous. It's very interesting too to close your eyes and like have your castmates do like a 6-person scene while you're just like unconscious on this bed. Um but yeah, it's there was a lot that was the thing too, is like showing so much there's a lot of emotion I was able to show too, especially with how much just shit Baron goes through like all the time.
Mhm.
Like with Jeff's writing, he's like, oh yeah, like you're gonna get shot here and this happen, you're light on fire, all this shit's like
Yeah, no
okay.
big deal.
It's super fun. I literally wouldn't have it any other way. And a great opportunity to just I mean, how often do you get to play like feral werewolves who are like fighting their human side to come back and start a pack and all this goodness. So yeah, definitely feel very grateful to play the role, and like I said, Jeff gave us all just amazing avenues to just really express ourselves in these super like abstract and fun ways through these characters and stuff. So yeah, it was Baron was kind of going through it all of season 1, but yes, he forgot even where I started on this question,
That's
but
okay.
yeah, the laying down is definitely that it's fun. It's fun to just sit there and listen sometimes, but not as stressful as going and hitting your mark and making a scene.
I want to bring up this question because I think it's very funny. What would a wolf howl look like in a text? So I want to know in your group chats with your fellow Wolfpackers, is anybody sending fun howls or fun? What's the emoji game like in the group chats?
Oh, the emoji game. Oh man, I don't even know the emoji game. There's a ton of different group chats too. There's like a million different group chats, and they're all really funny. Like some of them are just like random mixtures of I just know because I'm in a couple of these. I'm like, there's random cast members too. But yeah, they're a wolf howl in a text. I think it would either be like a very classical, like however you would kind of type that out, like maybe a long, strenuous like howl, or
Mhm.
like a complete, almost like mash the keyboard just so loud and like in just piercing that it just like they don't even know how to like log this in our alphabet system. But yeah, the wolves. Yeah, I don't even know, to be honest. I'm not sure how I would text that.
I will.
Maybe in a voice memo. I would voice
Oh,
memo and then I would howl and then I would send that.
I was like, I'll ask you again after season 2 because season 2
Yeah.
is happening. We're speaking it into the universe. We want to see it. We want Baron's redemption arc, which seems like it's right around the corner. Um, I also want to ask, of course, because you've been in a Disney movie, you're one of the stars of a genre show. Superheroes are such a thing right now. You come from a superhero family. Are there
Yeah.
any like comic book characters or comic book properties that you might have your eye on or that you would love to get a chance to work on in the future?
I mean, there's, like, no shortage of them. Obviously, I'm a pretty massive nerd too. There's only, like, like, kinda less than half of my room. I got kind of a lot of nerdy shit in the back. But,
Where
yeah,
is
huge
the
comic book
tour
fan.
of the stuff?
Yeah, I know. I'll have to do a tour at some point because I do have a lot of cool shit in this room. I'm actually a massive manga fan, even a little bit more than comics, but I am reading The Authority right now.
Oh, so
It's a comic.
good.
Yeah, it's totally blowing my mind. Really liking The Authority, but because I know that's getting made, but there's tons of them. If I had to pick one, it'd probably be like to play Reiner from Attack on Titan. I just love Attack on Titan. It's my favorite series ever. Hajime Isayama's the GOAT. But
You actually kind of look like the character too, so that's a great call.
you know, that's what I'm kinda thinking. I'm like, "Yo, if this is getting adapted, give me the call. Let's make this happen." So that would definitely be top. Or to play, like, one of my dad's characters, that would definitely be very meta and very full circle. So those are definitely kinda 2 things that are hopefully. I mean, one of those things is kinda already kinda getting into it with me and my dad. We're kinda, like, teaming up and putting our minds together. But, yeah,
Excellent.
we'll see if the Attack on Titan adaptation is definitely much more, much more of a long shot. But I think, hey, if it gets adapted, man, I'm here. I'm ready.
We got the
But
question, Chase Liefeld in My Hero Academia?
literally, like, right here, like it's in Lemillion, like, you wanna throw me as
Yes.
Lemillion, throw me as Bakugo, like, let's go. I got a look you can shape, we can do anything, man. You can throw me in as anything. But, yeah, no, My Hero Academia is amazing. I've been watching season 6, all throughout. I think what was I watching that shooting Wolfpack? Was it My Hero too? That's been running for a second, that last season. Absolutely brilliant, though. But anyways,
Bakugo
rambling
and
on,
Baron,
man.
again, like, not dissimilar characters.
Yeah, and Baron's so, like, comic booky and anime, like, he's so, like, such, like, a fictionalized character in a weird way. I don't even know if that's a word, but, like, he's such a, it's always, I don't know, it's such a comic booky-esque character in a way, this
Mhm.
werewolf who's finding out, so I always find it good to, kind of, like, dive into that space yourself. To at least this is what I like to do when I'm playing a character, like, try to ingest other media and other things that also, like, like, if I'm playing a character like Baron, I might be watching, like, a couple more animes or some more, like,
Mhm.
supernatural stuff anyways. But, yeah, it just definitely helps you get into the mindset, and also just being inspired while working is just, like, the best thing ever. I think when you're, like, legit inspired and going to work and then trying to tell your own story is just makes a really cool, I don't know, just makes it really, interesting, much more engaging. But anyways,
We got another, someone says, "I can see Chase as Bakugo for sure."
yeah, yeah, let's go. It's funny, I used to hate Bakugo when I used to watch. I remember when it was coming out in, like, 7th grade. I was like, "Who is this guy?" And then he's totally grown on me. I, like, love him now. But, yeah, yeah, that's great. That's great. I love that.
Okay, Chase, I've already kept you longer than I promised, but I just have one last question, and we've kind of touched on it. Because here in the Popverse, we celebrate the best in TV, movies, and comics. I would love to know what you are geeking out about right now that you are not working on. Dun, dun,
The Authority, My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, season 4,
dun.
parts
The final,
2,
final, final season.
final. Yeah, those 3. In Succession, the next season of Succession, I'm geeking out on big time.
Ooh, amazing. Chase Liefeld,
Big
thank you
time.
so much for joining us here in the Potverse today. If anyone hasn't watched Wolfpack, what are you even doing with your life? Come and figure out what we just talked about. I hope we'll have you back in the future, and I'm going to say bye-bye. How much fun was that? I have to say, I did spend the last 2 days watching all of Wolfpack, and as someone who was a diehard Teen Wolf fan, it gave me all of the feels. So that was so fun. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us to chat with Chase. We have so much more comic book news, so much more geeky stuff to talk about today. So let's go see what is happening over there. Of course, I have to talk to you about Heartstopper. Heartstopper is coming back. Whether you know Heartstopper from its long run in the comic book world, it started life as a Tumblr comic. Do y'all remember Tumblr? Remember when we used to read comics on Tumblr? It's one of the biggest webtoons. It is the king of Netflix, and Heartstopper's been on a little hiatus for a while, but we learned this week that it is going to be returning. As you can see, is it this way? Yes. Hey, I know what side is what. As you can see, it's going to be coming back on April 1st. I am hugely excited about this. You can, of course, read the full article on thepopverse.com. One of the reasons I wanted to bring this up and chat with everybody here about this today is because the series creator, Alice Oseman, talked a lot about the reason why she stepped away from making Heartstopper full time. So Heartstopper's been going on, like I said, for a long, long time. It started life on Tumblr, then Tapas, and now she's a webtoon. She stepped away because not only does she do all of the creative work on, I almost said Enter the Popverse. I wish. Not only does she do almost all of the creative heavy lifting on Heartstopper, she's also the sole writer of the Netflix show, which is incredible, amazing. It's so wonderful to see an original creator get that much autonomy over the property. But she talked a lot about being burnt out. And so took the time last year to step away last May. There's been a couple installments since then, as the fans and the readers know, so that she could deal with her burnout. And I think that's incredibly important for creatives of any ilk, whether you are a creative writer, whether you're an actor, whether you're a journalist, that you take the time when you're being overwhelmed to take care of yourself and look after yourself, because that allows you to make the best possible offerings that you can to your audience. And I love Heartstopper. No fooling, it's coming back April 1st. So I am really, really thrilled to see that news. I'm also dying for the season 2 announcement on Netflix because I just want it back in my eyeballs. If you are a Webtoons person, even if you're just going over to Webtoons, by the way, because you are checking out Heartstopper, we have a great article where we wrapped up all of the most popular Webtoons so far. And look, there's our babies. There's our little Heartstopper babies. And it's at number 2. And it's been on hiatus for almost a year, which is such an incredible feat. And I think really speaks to the quality of the material presented, how important Heartstopper is, and what it really, really means for the audience members right now. And of course, I mean, Laura Olympus is over there. But I don't know about anyone else. I am super, super psyched to get more Heartstopper in any way, shape, or form. And I confess, I really am hoping that the return of the webcomic also maybe heralds the return of the on-screen adventures of Nick and Charlie. They're so cute and I can't even stand it. Okay, now, talked about TV, talked about Webtoons that are also TV. I think it's time for us to talk about superheroes. Okay, because we haven't done superheroes yet. I want to talk, of course, about the Wonder Woman statue. And I simply cannot do that alone because we had our very own Wonder Woman, our deputy editor, Tiffany Babb, experience it all. So hello, Tiffany. Welcome back to Enter the Popverse.
Hi, Ashley. It's good to see you.
How is it going?
Good, good. It was like freezing yesterday, and now it's like weirdly warm.
Okay, so I'm going to pop up your amazing piece on the Wonder Woman statue. Let's scroll down so we can see the picture. Tiffany, what's all this business about? How did this happen?
Yeah, DC nicely invited us out to Burbank this week on Wednesday to come out to the DC Studio Tour entrance where there was a large statue under a red veil. And yes, it was a Wonder Woman statue, and it's really exciting to see. It's huge. I don't know if anyone's been to the AMC in Burbank, but they have a Batman statue that they unveiled a couple of years ago. And the same people who made that statue made this statue. So it's this big collaboration with the Visit Burbank city organization, as well as DC, Warner Brothers, and Discovery. And it was cool. Jim Lee was there. Pam Lifford was there. Patty Jenkins was there. And the mayor was there. The mayor of Burbank was there. And it was just a bunch of people really excited to celebrate the legacy of Wonder Woman and what she means to people. And now there's a statue of her, which you can go see. You don't have to have like a studio tour ticket or anything. It's outside the entrance, and you can just go and take pictures with her. It's cool.
Did you take a picture with her? Because the article is full of nice, very professional, sadly not Tiffany included. So I was like, please tell me you got a picture with her.
I did. My lovely colleague, Rosie Knight, who writes a lot of comics journalism, she did take a picture of me with the statue, which I can post on social later.
Yeah, I was like, please put it on Instagram so that we can share it. How tall is the Wonder Woman statue? Because the Batman statue that you talked about, the one that's in by the AMC in Burbank, is like, ooh, doggy.
Sorry. Oh, no. Yeah, she's loud
Show us
today.
the dog. The Batman statue is like 7.5 or 8 feet tall. He's quite large. So is Wonder Woman appropriately taller than the Batman statue?
She is. You know, I heard people saying she was taller. I've also heard that she's above 7 feet or around 7 feet. So, she is large. Like when you're there, you're looking up at her, which I think is appropriate, and the correct response to being around Wonder Woman is you should be looking up. And she is larger than life, which is exciting.
Tom Trainer says, also the boss move of Wonder Woman getting a statue before Superman is incredible. Tiffany, do you think we will get a Man of Steel bronze statue?
I assume so. I mean, it's probably the next one in line, right? Unless, I don't know, they have this idea of launching some new superhero movie by doing the statue, but this Superman has to be next. My argument was that they should put him outside a newspaper building, but
that's a great
are there
idea.
Newspaper buildings in Burbank? Like, are there newspapers anymore? Rip to the whole newspaper industry.
I know, as we sit here as a journalist. You know, Burbank does have quite a lovely and quite a big library.
That could be cool.
Because my next question was going to be, right? You know, we have Batman's outside the theater, Wonder Woman's outside Warner Brothers. Like, where do you put Superman? Also, Burbank is not that big. So.
No. Outside the Portos. That's like the ideal place.
Outside the shopping mall, outside the Public Works building, because he's there for a better world and a better tomorrow.
Yeah.
Popverse says Booster Gold statue when? All I'm saying is if we're doing Booster Gold, it better be Michael and Ted Kord, or I will burn the building. Tiffany, I want to ask you about, because I didn't even know this until you told me this. I thought that this Wonder Woman statue was placed on the Warner Brothers tour. And I was like, oh, wow, it's so nice that they put Batman in this huge public pedestrian mall and they put Wonder Woman kind of tucked away, even if she is outside the studio. Not a lot of people troll through Burbank and go and hang out outside the WB lot unless they might be also going to the WB lot or going to that one doghouse that's right across the street from the WB lot or the smokehouse. So what do you think about the choice of having her be at the studio? Because I think it's a little strange.
I think it's, Warner Brothers is like, this is a great a great plus for us and getting people to the general vicinity of the studio tour.
Fair.
It's very much like, it's the company that owns the company that owns the company, and what's good for the company. And it's also, while it is great for Warner Brothers, like the DC studio tour, the Warner Brothers studio tour is like a huge tourist draw for Burbank. And so I'm guessing like Visit Burbank is also like, well, this is like what a lot of people come here to do a lot of the time. And if they are focused on tourism, that's a place people go. And if they were going to put it somewhere that kind of makes as many possible people happy, and by people, I don't mean like fans, I mean like people making the decision.
Yeah.
It seems like a logical place for that. Could it have been a more central location? Yeah, but I'm sure a lot of conversations were had as to like, well, what's best for the brand.
Yeah. It's so funny because the last time I had you on, we were also talking about what is best for the brand.
Oh, yeah.
I will say, if anybody hasn't done the Warner Brothers studio tour, I think of all the studio tours you can do in Los Angeles, I do think it's the best one. That's my hot take. You can tweet me at Ashley V. Robinson if you disagree with me. And the studio tour does already include a pretty substantial Batman setup. So I do appreciate their choice to have the statue be not the Batman statue. Tom Trainer also brings up, I was so happy to see Patty Jenkins posing with the statue. She's gotten kicked to the curb a lot lately. Tiffany, I was super surprised to see, given the shakeup, that she was there, even though Patty Jenkins, I think, is single-handedly responsible for the reason why Wonder Woman is so popular right now. What was your take on having her show up? Were you thrilled? Were you surprised?
It was cool. And I think you're right that she kind of revitalized the public interest in Wonder Woman, right? It was a really interesting move. I think it's a show of goodwill too between DC, like the studios, and and Patty Jenkins, because she kind of was kicked to the curb in a lot of ways, and it was very public. And they had clearly put some work into Wonder Woman 3 that is not happening anymore. So I think having her there at this kind of really big PR type thing where
Yeah.
it's like we're talking about the future of Wonder Woman and the past of Wonder Woman and what she means to the company, and like Pam Clifford was talking about what Wonder Woman means to Warner Brothers now.
Mhm.
And what she means to the company and what she means to the city of Burbank, which is also kind of a weird thing to say out loud because it's not like Wonder Woman lives in Burbank.
Also,
Well, now
Burbank
she
is
does.
one of the more, affluent,
Mhm.
expensive neighborhoods, and Wonder Woman is very much about, like, children and, community and
Yeah,
animals, which is
it
not
is interesting.
antithetical to each other certainly at all, but it just sort of seems interesting in that macrocosmic view.
It is interesting. But having her there, I think, sorry, dog again. It's like trash day, so like
We're pro
it's
dog,
free
bring the
trash.
dog on camera.
If she would come here, if I called, if she would, I would, but she wouldn't because she's protecting the house from the trash people.
She
It's her
is
sole mission in life.
your Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she is my Wonder Woman. Oh, what a cutie. Um, but I think it was like a really big kind of goodwill gesture, and it like people were talking about it. People were like, "Oh, okay, Patty Jenkins was at this thing. That means something." And I think it does.
So I would love to leave you asking this question, Tiffany, because obviously, the most blatant choice to do next is Superman. We talked about that. We talked about blue and gold finally getting their due. If you could commission a bronze statue of this magnitude of any character in all of comic books, strips, European characters, manga, who, off the top of your head, top of your intelligence, who would you commission a giant statue of to place somewhere in Burbank?
That is hard. My favorite my favorite superhero, at least,
Yeah.
character is Daredevil. But he's only really been to California once, and it was in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So Burbank would definitely be a strange place to place him.
Matt Murdock
I
just
feel like
means like a lot to the city of
yeah,
Burbank, and so
the hundreds of years of history of
yeah,
Matt Murdock being in Burbank. And what's Hell's Kitchen? I don't know. I've never heard of it before.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
I don't know. I think a Captain America statue would be pretty cool.
Mhm.
Like that's kind of that kind of seems to be the vibe they're going for with this Wonder Woman statue, is just like, oh, a symbol of hope and justice and all of that fun. And I feel like Captain America kind of is one of the characters who fits into that slot, which isn't true of everyone. But now I'm like, let's do a comment, like let's do like Tintin or something. That sounds fun. Have a journalist, Tintin the journalist.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh,
that
there you
would be
go.
so cute.
Honestly, if they're gonna do Superman, my vote is to put Lois Lane beside him.
That would be really great.
I love Lois Lane. I think she's the most important woman in the DC universe. So that's
Probably
always
is.
my hottest of takes. So, Tiffany, I'm so excited and deeply jealous that you had a chance to go to this event. But where can people find you online? Where can they follow you? Where can they learn all about the Popverse from you?
Yes. I mean, obviously, find us at thepopverse.com on Popverse. We're on Twitter, where Popverse says, and then my personal Twitter account is Exploding Arrow. It's just spelled like it sounds. And then tiffanybabb.com for my other stuff.
There you go, Tiffany. I will see you very shortly in Anaheim. Have a great rest of your
Yes. Bye.
day. Oh, again, I'm just so jealous that I didn't get to go see that Wonder Woman statue. I think it is so, 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 so cool. I can't wait to get the Superman one. And honestly, if they want to do the whole Big Seven, if you want to like roll out the Justice League, I will have opinions about which Green Lantern you choose. But I think that would be a really, really fun PR type stunt to get from WB. And sometimes symbols and heroes really matter, as we all know as fans of superheroes. Another exciting comic book thing that happened this week is we got the announcement of the American Born Chinese Disney Plus series release date. I have been waiting for this since this project was announced. If you're not as aware, the South by Southwest Festival is going on right now in Texas. They're doing all kinds of exciting media announcements. They had an early premiere of American Born Chinese, and they announced that we are going to get the full series streaming on Disney Plus on May 24th. In celebration of that, And because, of course, we want to celebrate the comic book origins of all of these things that we love, I want to share with you now my interview with Jean Yang, who is an amazing comic book creator, the creator of American Born Chinese, that we shot last year at New York Comic Con when they did their presentation about American Born Chinese. So let's go and watch that right now, straight from the creator's mouth. Watch me goof out and like lose my mind. I love Jean so, so much. And I hope that this will inspire you to check out there's going to be a dope little card right up here that will take you to the video and you can watch it. I'm very, very sorry that it didn't happen today and that the audio isn't going through. That's not something that I can problem solve for you right here, unfortunately. So thanks for joining me for that adventure. The video is on our YouTube channel, of course, and it has been out for a little bit. So when you're done this, pop over and watch it right away. Jean is really, really amazing. He's so insightful. And it's one of the reasons that I am most excited to watch American Born Chinese. But while I have you here, I can do something very exciting for you. I have a hat that I want to put on. I know here in the Popverse, we like to do fun things like put our tinfoil hats on. I've done that a bunch of times, but this time I have an actual hat and it's a C2E2 hat. And I promised you at the top of the show before we talked to Chase that we were going to have a C2E2 announcement. So now I feel like with my C2E2 hat and my box lunch Mario shirt that I am properly attired and properly ready to let you know that C2E2 this year is, of course, a Popverse show. So that means that we are going to be live streaming and filming some of the biggest panels. It's one of our favorite things to do. It's one of our favorite things to bring to you each and every Read Pop convention. Some of the most amazing panels that we are going to be live streaming, which haven't been announced anywhere before, are a Zachary Levi spotlight panel. So if you are going out this weekend and you are seeing Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods and you want to make sure that you know everything that there is to know. You want to get the inside scoop. You want all kinds of fun behind the scenes stories like we got from Chase Liefeld earlier today. Check out the Zachary Levi panel that is going to be live streamed straight from the main stage at C2E2. We also have an Avatar: The Last Airbender cast reunion. Now, there has been a lot of Avatar: The Last Airbender cast reunions, but this one is extra special. The entire band is getting back together, so make sure that you check that out live from C2E2. And we just had an amazing Avenger at Emerald City Comic Con. We had Mark Ruffalo for C2E2 in the city of Chicago. We are continuing the CC trend, and we have Chris Evans, Captain America himself, is also doing a spotlight panel. So go and check out the Zachary Levi panel, get your DC fix in, then go and check out the Chris Evans panel, get your MCU fix in, and you will be all balanced out on your big two movies over the weekend. The Avatar: The Last Airbender panel and the Chris Evans panel are going to be free for everyone to watch. So all that means is that you have to go to thepopverse.com. You can watch those as soon as they start and as soon as they are live streamed. You can do that by going right here. If you want to watch the Zachary Levi panel and some of the other ones, you need to get yourself a Popverse membership so that you have the full exclusive access to those. That is just a taste of some of the amazing stuff that is coming to C2E2. And I'm so excited that I got to share that with you here first, and that I get to let you know that those are three incredible things that you need to make sure are on your radar and that you are planning to attend, cover, live stream, whatever you want live from C2E2. And as Popverse, of course, lets us know, yes, we will be live streaming the C2E2 Chris Evans and Avatar: The Last Airbender panels free. That's right, free to the public. So easier access that you'll have to them than ever before. So if you're at C2E2, make sure you go live. If you're not at C2E2 like myself, make sure that you hop over here and you stream them and you see what is going on. I also want to let you know next week it's not C2E2. Next week is WonderCon. We take the C2E2 hat off. I'm going to be doing, I'm just kidding. My hair's a mess. To cover WonderCon, we will be doing a pre-recorded episode here, kind of like we did at Emerald City Comic Con with a different format. So there will still be an Enter the Popverse episode next Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. But It's not going to be live like this, but there will be an episode because I don't want to leave you all on your own. If you are in Anaheim, California, flag me down. Let's take a photo. There's a ton of fun stuff that is going to be going on all weekend long. And then the weekend after that, C2E2 weekend. So you want to make sure that you check everything out. And of course, don't forget the Our Flag Means Death panel that I moderated at Emerald City Comic Con. There's going to be one of those at C2E2 as well. So don't miss out, my lusty, my kind pirates. I adore you all so much. So whether or not you are going to either of those events, there's lots of ways that you can engage with Popverse, hang out with us here in this virtual realm created by Reed Pop, where we're celebrating the best in TV, movies, and comics. Because even if we're in different cities, even if we're in different countries, we are dedicated to bringing you all of the best geeky news. I have been Ashley Victoria Robinson, your video producer and host today here on Enter the Popverse. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us live. This was so fun. There were highs, there were lows, there were feelings. There was so much going on. For this and so much more, of course, always go to thepopverse.com. Get yourself a membership. While you're here on the YouTube channel, like the banner says, subscribe and click that little baby bell so that you never miss a single thing that we are doing with convention season now in full swing. We are doing more amazing things than ever before. Again, I have been Ashley Victoria Robinson. I have enjoyed speaking with you so much today. Stay safe, my friends. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.